Hello and welcome everyone to a new YouTube video here on my channel. Today we're gonna play Azorius Blink. I know there used to be another Azorius Blink deck, but I wanna just shortly talk about why we're gonna play it. I still believe Azorius Blink is a really good deck against mono aggressive decks because you have so much value. You have your exiles, you have your creatures, and exiles are really important right now because mono white creatures, they do not like to get exiled. Also, we have some really spicy combinations in the deck, and yeah, hopefully you're gonna like it. Let's talk about it. So first of all, yeah, it is a Yorion deck, and we play 3 Yorion main, which means we probably have a lot of cards that enter the battlefield. First, we have the Omen package. We play 4 Omen of the Seas. We're gonna draw a card and scry 2, or the other way around. And we have 4 Omen of the Sun. This is really strong right now. It gives some good jump blockers. It's just 3 mana, 2/1/1s, gain 2 life, flash as well. Then, besides that, we need some exile cards, where we have the Glass Casket, 2 mana, where we can exile a creature card with 3 or less CMC, which is still really good. And we play 4 Skyclave Apparition, 3 mana to 2. It comes into play, we can exile a non-land permanent with 4 or less CMC, and when it leaves the battlefield, the opponent gets a illusion token, which is XX, which is total to the CMC we exiled. So we definitely want to have that package there as well. Everything so far we can bounce with Yorion. We also gonna play 2 Barrin, 3 mana to 2. This card has multiple reasons. First of all, we can bounce a creature from opponent. We can also bounce a creature. We have our own. If we bounced our own creature, we can draw a card. This can be sometimes really nice if you want to bounce a Yorion, a Charming Prince, or a Glorious Protector. And Glorious Protector here, I think, is such an amazing card. This card in Blink will, like I have to say, it takes like you never expect a card. Second, it can do amazing things, and it's great that I have in the matches after this description those things. So first of all, what you can do with this. Let's say they have a board wipe, you play the Glorious Protector and you just exile all the creatures, and sometimes it's an event and they said odd because of this. This one survives, and they're still around. They just go under the Protector because the Protector says 4 mana, 3/4, flash flying. When Glorious Protector enters the battlefield, you may exile any number of non-ancient creature you control until a Glorious Protector leaves the battlefield. So, in our case, we don't play a single angel except the tokens here, but of course we will not exile them and try to get a blink effect. But what is really nice is we have the Apparitions, we have the Barrin, we have the Yorion, we have multiple cards where we can use this. And let's go in some details. Let's say opponent attacks, you have a Yorion out, you have an Omen and another Omen, and they attack you. And they know if you block with Yorion, you lose Yorion. You play the Protector, exile the Yorion, block with the Protector, Yorion comes back on the battlefield in opponent's turn, you blink your cards, and they come also back in opponent's turn. So this card can give an entire Yorion blink in opponent's turn, and you're definitely going to see this in the next game. Also, another really nice thing you can do with this card is you just take away your cards with the Protector on end step because it has flash, and then in your turn you use Doomskar, you clear the entire board, of course Protector dies, and all your creature come back into play. This is also really strong, and yeah, we play 3 Doomskars here, 5 mana, destroy a creature with 4 tail, 3 mana. There's just so many things you can do with this. It's just, I really enjoy this card. Sometimes you think, okay, I cannot get rid of it, you have your creatures under it, but this is where Barrin also comes in. You can bounce it back on your hand, get everything, get a draw, really decent. You can blink it with Yorion to get everything back, and there's just so many lines you can actually protect your Yorion and Charming Prince loop, because we also play 4 Charming Prince here, 2 mana to 2. We can choose one of the following things when a Charming Prince enters the battlefield. We can scry 2, gain 3 life, or we can exile another creature we own, return it on the battlefield, and end step. So there's just so many things we can do, and you're gonna see some loops in those games. So if you have questions about loops, definitely ask me in the comment below, so I will definitely help you if you need questions. And let's just take a look at some other cards. We also play Elspeth Conquers Death as a 4/5 mana. This card has been a staple in the meta for a while now. We can exile target permanent and opponent controls with converted mana cost 3 or greater. This is the first step. Then after that we tax opponent with 2 additional costs for the non-creature spell. And on the third step, we can return a planeswalker creature from our graveyard to the battlefield with +1/+1 counter or a loyalty counter. And we have some good cards when they come back, they actually do things. It's always nice to get a Yorion back. And then we have some support cards like a Glasspool Mimic, where we can just copy a creature we have on the battlefield. This is really nice because we have many ended battlefields creatures. So we can also use this to actually get a double Yorion proc. So let's say we have Yorion on the battlefield, use the Mimic on Yorion, keep the old Yorion. The enter trigger still happens. We can blink this Yorion, blink everything else. This Yorion comes in, everything else comes in. We get another trigger, we can blink everything else again. I mean, there's just... Mechanically, there's so many lines in this deck with blinks. It's ridiculous. Like, sometimes you have to think, what is the best way to blink our stuff right now? And I really enjoy this about this game. But then again, I also think we need to play some counters. I think since we played Doomskar, Saw it coming looks really good right now. I like the mind games with the foretales here sometimes. You never know which card it is. 3 mana, counter target spell, foretell for 2. Looks really nice. And so we have 3 negates. Mainly because of the Sultai deck. Sure, we can get rid of henches and maws and other cards as well. Just want to have access to at least a certain amount of counters in the main. And one Thassa's Intervention. This is our flex spot. I used to be a fan of this card and I was like, yeah, I can try it out. We have many flash cards, so sometimes you just draw 2 cards, which is still very nice. Mana base, we also have a good amount of dual lands. We play our castles, which are really strong. We have the Triumphs here just for the cycle, and we play 4 Emeria's Call, because I mean a land that makes 2 flying, 4/4 flying angel is just absolutely strong. Besides that, let's take a look at the sideboard. We play 3 Giant Kills, mainly for the Gruel matchup. I think there it really shines. You can also play this in other matchups, but I think it's definitely nice in a Gruel matchup. 1 extra Disdainful Stroke, you have access to a counter that hits multiple targets. This can be big creatures, this can be ultimatums, just a bit more flexible there. In blue-white, we sadly don't have too many good escape cards, so we go for Glimpse of Freedom here. It's still exile 5 other cards, which is still a huge chunk. 2 mana, draw a card, escape 3. I mean, if you still face rogues, we should still have 2 of them. Then I want to jump shortly to Archon of Sun's Grace. I mean, 4 mana, 3/4, flying a lifelink is decent. But it has Constellation, so whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, create a 2/2 white Pegasus creature token with flying. And all Pegasus gain lifelink. So this is a really good card against aggressive deck. Since we blink our enchantments a lot, we get the trigger a lot. It's really nice to have this in aggressive decks. And 3 Mystical Pursuit here, just to make sure we are able to counter multiple cards. In a counter duel, it's really good. Against blue in general, obviously. Banishing Light, I wanted to have 2 more exile effects on the sideboard that I will board in with Archon of the Sun's Grace as well. If you really like this deck, I can maybe also write a sideboard guide. I'm not sure if we do the sideboard guides or stuff like this on YouTube. It's maybe a bit of too much work, but yeah, we're in the top 100 Mythic with this deck. I had 3 really great matchups. Hopefully you're gonna like it. If you like my content, feel free to give me a like or just subscribe or write a comment. Or just check me out on Twitch, on twitch.tv DanyTLaw. Yeah, hopefully you like the games. See you there next time. Okay, let's have a game here. Tiger Sword. That's a keep. 78%. That's gonna be an interesting deck, I guess. Gruel. Nah, it cannot be Gruel. It's triple color. Could be Wet Gruel. Looks like Wet Gruel now. Not gonna lie, I'm not too happy about Eddie here. Well, not being able to answer it. It's definitely not what I prefer. Okay. It's pretty good on the play, those Eddie into Lost Rock Beast. They tend to be really good plays. I mean, now I have to be careful, right? I'm happy about this, actually. This could be Ober's Ultimatum. Good read. There's a pause, could be a negate. Or a stomp. Sure. Not finding a card. If we find a land here, we okay. If not, it's definitely not perfect. Not finding a land here is actually really big. It's really, really big if they have a stomp here. That is stomp. I actually think I have to do this. They won off the Beanstalk Giants, and if they play Embercleave, okay. But I think this is more of a ramp deck, to be honest. If, yeah. Did expect this. Oh, missing another land. Not cool. Not cool missing lands here. Crazy bee. Have to resolve it. The main problem I have is just I just miss lands every single turn. Land miss. What does that's a no. That is a no. Like, the best card actually to draw is something to deal with Edward Innkeeper here. Okay, so something. I still don't have anything to deal with it. This is too much damage, huh? Two life blockers. What can I do if I have 6 life? Also not too much. I mean, this is a big card as well. So Doomskar would be the best find, but how can I find this without losing to the board that is right now here? Elspeth's Conqueror's Death, Lost Beast is a version to do it. But then Dragon would be really annoying. So this is a pass. I don't want it to be a pass, but it is a pass. If they tap out, I'm the most happy, I guess. Okay. That's probably the best case scenario for me. We're definitely gonna counter this. I mean, if they have ultimatum, they have ultimatum here. But now the Yorion can go off. Okay, that's fine. Now the 2 tax is really good against ultimatum here. Getting some life feels good as well. Taking an extra counter here. And the land I think is fine. Sure. Yeah, I think we use the protector here. to get Yorion before the ECD trigger. So we would, yeah, I think that's the best play. So we get an extra round. So the attack of Giant here would help us a lot. Okay, that works as well. Yeah, get our extra Yorion here. And this is how strong a protector can be. Just making sure we keep the attacks up as long as we can. We also have another one, which is nice. Don't think we need both of this. We can block for a long time. Mm-hmm. Okay, and this is the loop. So now we start to do Protect is so good because you can basically trigger Yorion an opponent's turn, and this is really hard to play around. It's definitely not easy to play around this. So I think I really like the Protector here. Giant Kill is decent. It's not perfect, but we definitely prefer the Caskets. I mean, this is an ultimatum deck, right? It also looks like a deck Kushiro played. So definitely have to keep this in mind. Doomskar can be okay, but we can cut one for sure. I think Barrin is probably the weakest card because bouncing those creatures do not help. They're adventure creatures. So definitely get rid of that one. Archon is fine at some point, but I think Giant Killer seems like the best one. Not perfect, but the best one. We can also talk about some disputes here. Post-board game, taking another Doomskar out. It's probably fine. Yeah. Skyclave Apparition can be fine. I'm gonna cut one Giant Killer. I mean, it's nice, maybe it's a one-off here. Obviously there are many creatures, but there's so many ways to deal with it. Probably, maybe two Giant Killers would be fine in this case. Just to make sure that we have cards to deal with the threats. I saw opponents deck in an Obosh version, so they are not playing the Obosh since they didn't have Obosh there. I really wonder what exactly there will be. We can keep this. I mean, Prince Yorion is fine. We have a counter. We have Apparition. We can deal with an Eddy. I like it as well. Okay, at this point, I'm gonna play this tapped. This is the Eddy. It's pretty good. Pretty good card. Okay, let's have a Scry here. Giant Killer could be nice. Giant Killer could be nice. I don't have a good hand to deal with big creatures right now. I mean, I can deal with the Innkeeper. The Welcher is pretty cool though. Okay, so now we deal with this card, which is fine. It's definitely nice to get rid of this one. You also can use the Mimic to mimic one of those creatures if we have to. Still fine. Mimic an Apparition is pretty good. Yeah, Mimic an Apparition seems to be the call here. I wish I had a second blue here. But that turn 5 is a dragon, right? So maybe Mimigan right now is not the way to go. Just to keep dispute up. And there's no card in the graveyard. So I think we have to play it like this, because I have to what the hell? Okay, that's fine. Now I'm really happy that I didn't do it. Okay, so this is super annoying. This is annoying, but this is whatever right now. I believe it's actually a Mimic. This is an annoying one. We want to get rid of that. Yeah, we still have a dispute here if we need it. Dragon is still the worst because now we cannot counter the dragon, but I could have just tapped out, but sometimes we want to have it open, and the Clovis is doing right now absolutely nothing. So I like opponent's deck. I'm a huge Teemo fan. The Weltry is really interesting. I would like to see the entire list, so Tiger Sword, if you ever watched this video, let me know what list you had. Pretty interesting. Yeah. Okay, clock starts. 2 mana open is still something that can play with your mind here. No blue is really big. Like, you definitely want to have a blue here. And what are they doing? Okay. Still going down. I mean, they have a card in Foretell, but no blue. Tiger Sword. What is going on? They seem to be not happy with the situation, I would say. They seem to be not happy with the situation. Roping is, I mean, there could be DC as well. DC is unlucky. Unlucky DC. Happens sometimes. Also missing blue is definitely not what you want. I mean, unlucky. Sometimes you have those games, right? But again, I really like this deck. I think it has a place when people play creature decks, and you also can actually play against some ultimatum decks, I would say. But yeah, I'm getting rocked here. It's a bit sad. Hopefully they reconnect. Be nice if they reconnect here. Would be really nice. I know you can reconnect. Let's do it, Tiger Sword. Let's do it. Okay. Well, we won the game. Not the way I wanted to win, obviously, but let's just go for the next one. Flames of Chaos. I think I play every day against Flame of Chaos. Maybe that's just me, but I just feel like I played against Flame of Chaos. It's kind of interesting. Untapped land would be nice. Yeah, I'm not sure though what I played. Green. Adel Innkeeper. Pretty good. I mean, we just have to start to get this out of the system here. I mean, the most negative thing here, that's pretty good. An untapped land would be really strong. Oof, that's not an untapped land. Well, maybe I have to go double Doomskar now. An untapped land would have basically get rid of Innkeeper and Brushfire, because the worst case scenario, well, if they use a Fabled Passage, they cannot play Lovestruck Beast. That's at least something. Okay. It is fine with us. We're still gonna use it here. I mean, getting rid of Evelyn Keep on a potential Fabled Passage on this one. Not the biggest fan. Could see a Bone Crusher here. Yep. Another Brushfire. Okay, it's another free damage. Okay. That 1/1 is kinda annoying. I mean, worst case... Worst case is a Fabled Passage here and a Cleave. That's a lot of damage that little thing does. Well, no. That's a no from us. Okay. Doomskar seems not good enough here. Is this a bug on my side? Because I played this tap, right? That was funny. Yeah, I think we just go for the Protector here and try to block. I mean, if this is another land, that will be a bit sad. Yeah, sure. They know we could have a Shark. I mean, if they have an Embercleave, they have it, you know. I mean, they just literally hasted us. Decline. Let's hope there's no Embercleave. I mean, we'll survive, but, you know, it's no fun. They tap out, which is fine. Yeah, that was good for us. We traded. That's what we want. The Crone War is fine as well. Yeah, this has to be an ECD. Especially we can take Yorion on hand and play it, which is pretty good. In my opinion. Getting rid of the Crone War is also important. That's a pretty fast start here from the Gruel player. Access to another Doomskar is good. Okay, this is another Bone Crusher here. Getting a bit low on life here. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Okay, actually, this is super cool. What do we have? We have no creature in the graveyard. You can play the Doomskar. So we say take action, do it here. So if this one dies, possibly with our Doomskar, we get a Yorion back. I think this is the best play. I mean, I don't know, right? Yep. So we can just attack. Get the Yorion back on the field. I think we submit 0, so we get the Angel back. And then we end turn. This is a pretty niche combo, the Protector with Doomskar here. I like it a lot. It's pretty strong. Now we have 2 4/5 flyers. A Mammoth. We could do it again here, but at this point we have enough cards. Decline. I think we have to ECD. Let's say it's a dragon. Just to make sure we don't die on a thing back, right? This is psychologically really strong, that Doomskar here as well, because you can actually count everything. But at this point, I think we got it. So, Glorious Protector is so much cool interaction in this type of decks. I really like it a lot. I do like it a lot. It's nice with the Doomskars. The Archons are also really nice in general, though. Okay. No stroke, not this one. So I'm not the biggest fan of counters in this matchup. Like, it does something, but you can have like one or two, but it's not where you want to be, like in general. The Yorion Blinks are fine, it's a creature. I can see cutting one Yorion here. Banishing Light can deal with some big enchantments as well. Turn 3, remove something, why not? It's a 1-for-1, it's not too bad. I probably will cut one Glorious Protector here though. Still a good card. And I think we can cut a land on a draw here. This I'm not too sure here. I'm always trying new things and changing it up. Let me know in the comment below how you would sideboard against Gruel. Okay. It's funny, I think I play almost every day against Flames of Chaos. I definitely played yesterday. That is for sure. Yeah, yesterday really early, like around this time. Obviously they are on the play here. Well, that is a good hand. Omen gives us life, some decent block. Dealing with an early creature is also pretty nice. No land. Lands is something we have, so everything else is totally fine. I like the Doomskar here for free, and it's psychologically so strong. Actually, not what I need. The Prince is a good card, but I'd rather do the Doomskar out here. Well, now I use the Casket. Now we use the Casket here. Want to make sure that we limit the draws of opponent as good as we can here. I mean, we still have a Skyclave if they play a Brushfire. Because Omen is was usually not that good against Gruel because they play Brushfire and another strong card. That's really good for us to play this card. So we can just Skyclave this now. I mean, I can see a double Bone Crusher here, but that was pretty good, I think. Got rid of all the annoying cards from the beginning here. So it probably is a removal spell. Shot is gone. Okay, sure. That's a pretty good draw. So if they would play the dragon now, we can just Doomskar. For the full cost though, we didn't foretell it. I think it was still correct to take care of Adult Innkeeper there. Okay, do the no other green or what? Okay, sure. This is probably the most interesting spot we were so far. Embercleave is a threat here. Embercleave is definitely a big threat. I tap out. We have 20 life, so I think it's fine. Just doing this, maybe they don't play another creature. If they attack with Embercleave here, the dragon, that's fine with Doomskar. Sure. That's damage. It is damage, that is for sure. But again, this is pretty decent. And turn. Sometimes you have to use your life as a resource here. I mean, I got an extra dragon with this play, which definitely is nice. And this Glass Casket is empty here. Fan of that. Let's fill some space. Let's fill some space. Also really nice that we have another Emeria's Call here. Good, that worked out. That's a lot of lands. This looks like a Shadow Skull to get rid of the, yeah. Yeah, Shadow Skull. I mean, it's fine. It's not something that makes me happy, but... Two Angels here is still fine. Still fine. It's a lot of pressure and you don't have too many flyers. I mean, you have had another Shadow Skull, but... The dragon is a 4/4 as well, this one. Okay. Okay. That's a lot of damage. I could have played this first. I did never expect them to block like this. And some more angels. I mean, that's a lot, especially day on 2. That's a lot. I don't know how you want to deal with this. Yeah. Well, 2 Gruel decks. I enjoyed the game for sure. It's nice to showcase what you can do with the Protector in those type of games, and yeah. CH Bovary. We start. Let's keep. This Keeper. I mean, it's not the best hand, but we have a natural loop on hand and a counter, so I think this has to be a keep. It's not the best against like mono aggro decks. But, so we know it's not a Yorion deck at least. This is not a Yorion deck. Which is at least something. Okay, I'm gonna start with the blue here. Just to say, hey, this could be Sultai. So the first chain of thinking of opponent maybe see Sultai there. Now we definitely have to go for the plains though. We can also just get rid of this, but I think plains here and we can still keep this up with the second island we drew. This is a swamp. Okay. We're gonna scry, try to fix our hands. Chances of drawing the 5th land is still there. And it's not something we need immediately, but it's interesting. A swamp. Swamp Passage. Rakdos? It has to be Rakdos, right? Ooh, that's actually a harder matchup. Oh, I'm looking forward to play this one. I am looking forward to play this one. Kroxa is a beast because I didn't care too much about this matchup because the win rate against Sultai is so low, so I was like, yeah, I don't need a sideboard against this. But will it bite me now? It's gonna be interesting. Most likely they're gonna play... I should have, that's my mistake. I should have put this in the thing, but I can still do it next turn. Yeah, I guess this will happen. But now we use Skyclave on this one, because we want to have it exiled. I should have foretelled one of those. I mean, it's definitely the best case scenario if we get rid of an escape card. We didn't find a land though, which is more on the annoying side. Having a Glorious Protector and the Sword coming is also really nice. Sure, they can still have claim, which is definitely strong. A Crone War here would be the most annoying card. Bone Crushes, that should be fine. Well, I'm not happy about it, but that's what it is. Finding a land here would be really important. Good 0 damage here. We're just gonna flash in the Protector. I wish I could play Charming Prince, but I mean, not finding the land and me saying, hey, I could find the 5th land is huge. Now this is a bit more on the annoying side. 2 draws. Two draws here. Okay. Just telling them, hey, I have a counter. But if I can trade here, I will go for the trade. You never think of this card in this position. That is for sure. You do not think about the Glorious Protector here. I can see a removal spell here, but that's fine. Okay, we get a Heartless Act out. Finding a land here is really important. If they don't have a land and not playing Bone Crusher would be the best case scenario. But yeah, I mean, just read 2 cards. It's a land. It's a land. Definitely looking to fix draws. Oof. This probably looks a bit better. So this is interesting. So they have 7 damage on board. I may be forced to block. If I draw this, could play another Protector, which is not good enough. Have to take this first. I'm not happy about this though. Not happy about this at all. So starting a loop here doesn't help me at all. I just have to block the most damage I can. Creatures are fine, everything else is not fine. Okay. It's a lot of scry, but not much I can do about it. This is definitely, I think, one of our harder matchups. Especially I don't have a clear sideboard for it. I mean, Apparition is in general a good card, I would say. Let's see how we do this off the sideboard. Giant Kill is fine. Banishing Light is a really good card though. Banishing Light and Archon can actually swing this in our favor. The life gain we have there. But we still need to start the loop to make it possible. Ooh, that's a good one. And we discard the saw it coming here. Because right now I still think creatures are probably more important. A Crone War discard, that's really interesting. It's a top. I mean, not playing anything probably tells that there's a Glorious Protector. This is tough. If they escape the Woe Strider first, they would get a Scry of the Rankle, which is something we could consider if it happens. But if you do that, we can actually play a really nice ECD off it, so... They're probably just gonna Heartless Act here, which is the worst case scenario. There are too many stops here. Yeah. But I still think it was correct. Losing the Yorion is no fun. Let's hope there's not another creature. Rankle is an interesting... Ooh, that's a really annoying one. And there was another creature. Wow, this is painful. I mean, I can do something if I draw a land, I guess. But if they have a land here, it's the worst case. Land, Shade plus Ghost Rider. I have this one. Hard matchup. It's a hard matchup to face. I don't think Rakdos should still exist right now, but it is what it is. Not a fan of bounces here at all. I mean, they play Kroxa, right? I have no way to deal with their graveyard, which is the biggest problem. So if I think about playing against this deck, how should I do it? I mean, Kroxa will probably not do it. I like the Protector here a lot, though. I'm not a fan. I'm just gonna cut Negate. I mean, this is an interesting card. But there are many cards it doesn't hit, so it's kind of bad, I guess. Wow, this is hard. It hits Kroxa, but I mean, we need to exile Kroxa with our exile cards. 4 caskets and 4 operations. Okay. I mean, it's not perfect, but I mean, we can work with this. We can work with this. Early Prince, getting some fix is definitely good. This is actually really nice with an Archon here. If our Archon survives on curve, it's pretty good. That's annoying. Now I'm regretting it. Okay, that's okay. Don't have anything here. I mean, they need a way to deal with the Archon here. Otherwise, they would never take the other one. But I still have to play it. Mimic can be down the line still a Yorion. Or Charming Prince here. So it's not like bad. I am worried about the Crown War. You own. Let me read that shortly. Let me read that. I mean, a Crown was a thing, but Yorion is actually nice because we can protect our board. Hard as after, sure. If they attack, it's what it is. Remorse. Double Yorion is big though. I mean, WR is super nice. I mean, you can attack here for free because they know I have Yorion. That's interesting. Okay, try to start the loop here. Definitely keep the Yorion in hand. If we lose the Charming Prince, it's also not good, but seems like we're gonna lose it. Bone Crusher, okay, sure. Playing Bone Crusher, sure. It happens a bit too early for us. Well, I should maybe Scry there. Okay. You can still Mimic and double Yorion if you want to. That's pretty good. This has to be the Ghost Rider. Has to be the Sacrifice outlet here. Can I lose the Glasspool Mimic here? Can I lose the Glasspool Mimic? I actually don't think so. I kinda like it. I mean, if they have Rankle and attack me here, it's not good. Especially Removal and Rankle here. I mean, if they have Removal and Rankle here, they have exactly those two cards, right? Which is worst case. Okay, that's a Rankle. Do they actually have the combination? Okay, they don't. interesting though. Should have I misplayed here. I should have attacked with the Yorion. For sure. Giving them a 3/3 is... I mean, the Omen is big though. But then again, I have to do it. If they have a removal spell, it's just too painful. Okay, well, that's fine. How are you gonna counter this? But yeah, I should have attacked here and played all the way. I mean, at least it's a Mimic. Can work with that. Okay. That's a lot of damage I can do now. I mean, Kroxa is kinda annoying. Kroxa is definitely more on the annoying side here. Well, they maybe need to draw off Castle here. 2. That's lethal. You need to represent a flyer and a creature. You can play removal 1 creature. That would have been possible. It's a 1/1. But it's definitely not on the easy side. So it's definitely correct, I think, the way he played. Rankle removal there would have been really bad. Like, really bad. But lucky there was no Rankle removal. Hard matchup. I would feel so much better with anything that deals with graveyard. Sometimes it's nice you don't have it, so they're boarding cards against your graveyard hate cards, but it's not perfect. I mean, I would love to have a Runestone or maybe a Lantern. That would help a lot, just to deal with those recurring threats. We didn't saw a Kroxa yet. That's definitely really helpful. Not seeing a Kroxa is nice. I mean, the discard effects are strong, but we also have cards to draw cards. So you can kind of make sure that you get to your Yorion and Prince loop, which is what you want, right? So you want to have that loop going. If you manage to set up the loop, usually you should win this game. You can set up Apparitions and Cascades. You can set up ECDs and some Omens to get life and blocks. The Omens are also really good against Rankle. So I'm pretty sure that if we set up at least 1 loop, or if you get a decent value loop, it's strong. Also, the Protector can be really interesting as a blocker, or as the blocker into Dooms to exile every one creature you have, and then just play Doomskar. It's also really nice. It's also good against a Crone War. I mean, I think there are many actually. I really like the Protector, and this was one of the main reasons I wanted to test blue-white. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Sure. Turn 1, turn 2, this, potential this or this. We're gonna see. This is flexible. We like those. Counter is okay. Shock. That's an annoying one. Okay. I mean, I can tell you, I'm not a fan of that draw. I think it's Doomskar right now. I need to protect this card if there's a duress. I love it. I mean, Omen, now at this point, I have too many good cards. But Doomskar has to be here. Whew. I just wanted to say duress, and then actually they duress me. So that's definitely perfect. I was also obviously worried of the remorse. I mean, Omen, sure, it's fine. We still have those 2 cards, which interact really nice. It's a land. Okay, if they attack here, we're gonna Omen. Pre-combat. Otherwise they use Thassa. Which they still can. Okay. What were the cards? Only this one, huh? Now we have the same amount. I mean, there could be a removal spell to fill the graveyard, but I'm cool if this. Interesting. Both really good cards. So we're gonna draw the planes first, I guess. I mean, if they play Crocs, we're gonna lose Archon. Sorry. Okay. Which means they get access to Croxa now. So I need this up. No attacks, and I think we just get this card on our hands to have an option to start loop. And if they go for the Croxa here, we still have a sword coming, which is really important, I think. Hardest Act makes sense. That's fine. We also can Doomskar and Saw it coming if there's another creature they want to play first, something like this. It is damage, but I think I have to play it this way. Okay. Seems like a good Doomskar here. The sacrifice is super annoying here now. 2 cards is definitely on the stronger side. If they have another one here, impressive. That was a mountain. I mean, the escape cards we have to deal with, so we need to somehow get value now. Somehow we need to get the value. They don't have enough cards to play both, which is good for me. I would like to get rid of it, I guess, but I think we're just going to counter the first one. I need to keep the land on hand. They could have a removal here, but I need to keep the land on hand, which is the worst part. Because they can Crocs again, and so they don't have a removal. This is something we know. If they Crocs again, we have to fail passage here. Which is what it is. Because you need to keep Skyclave Apparition against this Croxa. It's really important. I mean, they removed the Ox now they're on their own, which is fine. We're gonna take damage here. There was no removal before, so they would have top decked the removal here. There could have been, there can be a Bone Crusher though, which makes this kind of awkward. They have one. This is definitely not cool. But that was just a huge misplay because of the... This is just... I mean... Well, we take it. I don't know. I just realized... The thing is, I saw this once, and it's the second time I see someone doing this. It can happen. But now Omen will take over the game. A lot. So... Omen into Yorion is just way too big. This is so much life can I get from here. This is what I mean. We need to get this once running and then we're good. And now we can do it endlessly. I maybe keep the land on hand in case there's another Crocs again. Oh no, never mind. I get a Charming Prince. I get a draw here, so let's just put it on the field. I mean, I get another Omen draw here, which is still nice. And now they're fishing, which is good. I mean, I take one in the loop here, I guess. One in the entire loop here is fine. John, I mean, we have lethal on field already. So this is what we need. This is how we need to play it. Boy, this matchup is not that fun. But again, Apparition is just such a good card. I just block with my 1/1s. Okay, I mean they don't get lifelink at least. Okay, seems good. Draw 2. Still lethal. This is still lethal. Okay, that's a land. They could maybe have a flyer. Okay, so we're gonna lose a card here. Oh, they have wait. Well, that is still lethal. That is unfortunate. I mean, this is... Our hand is just so much gas, so... I was a bit more scared when I saw Rakdos in the beginning. But I guess dodging Croxos in game 1 and game 2 is super important. And yeah, I enjoyed the games. Hope you like it. Let's go to the outro. Alright, we had 3 great games here. 2 times against Gruel. One was a bit unlucky because opponent probably lost internet there. And we also played against Rakdos, which I thought was a hard matchup. Maybe some unlucky draw from his opponent, but we still went on top. I really enjoyed the deck. I think right now the reason why I built this deck is it's maybe a meta call against the mono aggro decks, because I still think it's a good deck against creatures. I'm not too sure about every card here. I tried Nyambi, didn't feel too good. Shark Typhoons, I would play the sideboard if I see way more control. I want to have access to 4 Shark Typhoons. As many flash cards as I can have. I think it's really important if there will be a controlled meta. But right now we're going to see many mono-based aggro decks, so I still think it's correct to play no Shark Typhoons right now. It can be good there, but I'm never a big fan of it. But the card itself is amazing, right? But we like to play our cards in our turn. Sometimes we keep up counters, but the counters are usually cheap, right? Yeah, it was super fun to play, and if you like this, definitely check it out. Leave a comment, subscribe, or just check me out on twitch.tv, DanyTLaw. Yeah, see you next time, and have fun with the deck.